What's going on, Shawn Mason? It is always a pleasure to hang out with someone like you who's just amazing. You are incredible. And I love being in the green room, by the way. What's going on?
Yeah, you know what? I am so excited. I'm sitting up here trying to figure out lights and sound and working with you and all this energy. I'm so glad you had me on the show. I'm so honored, especially because you are so pumped up. Here it is on the late night Happy Entrepreneur Show. It's awesome.
Well, thank you so much, man. You are amazing. Look, before we get started, I always like to kind of dive behind the scenes. I like to kind of know what a person's up to. So do you mind taking maybe a minute or two, maybe three, okay? And tell us a little about who is Shawn? What journey have you been on? Because you've been doing so many amazing things. And what are you up to now?
It is so crazy because I started out as an English teacher, man. I started as an English teacher. People know me from the direct sales world, and I actually love the tech. So I ended up doing so much behind the scenes tech stuff. I'm like WordPress geek, all that. I'm like super geeky. Just, keep it on the low. Don't tell so many people that. Don't everybody know that. And what I did is realize that so many people don't understand the basics and the fundamentals of marketing. Marketing is my thing. It's my jam. I do it in my sleep. I'm the chick who don't even like watching the show, but I would rather watch the commercials. You feel me? That's my thing, I'm like, oh my God, how did they do that? Why did they come up with that concept? And so marketing is my thing. So what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about how to market to your ideal client. I'm really not going to bust. I'm going to bust through all those cliches and all that stuff, ideal avatar and all this stuff. And also talk about features, benefits, stuff that some people know, but they don't implement. And more importantly, how to build community and culture with your content and copy. That's my real thing. So I am excited. I thank you again so much, Shay, for having me. And I'm just excited to talk to your people because I know your people are getting it done, making it happen, doing what's necessary to change lives. And that's what I want to help them do better. Connect and convert.
I appreciate that so much about you. I appreciate your willingness to serve, your willingness to do things. My question to you, if I can, is I'm curious, not about your big why, because everybody asks that question, your big why, but what's your mission? What's your mission these days? I mean, what are you trying to accomplish? I know you're in your purpose and your mission. Take a moment and tell me, Shay, here's my mission and here's my purpose.
Right. Here is my mission is to help people over 40. I used to say women, but I realized that I actually have male clients who I connect. Help them over 40 to reclaim that back nine, that second part of their lives, their next step, their next journey. We've had some hiccups. Some of us are in the sandwich generation, and I want to help them through entrepreneurship, through what is possible with us, doing online and digital work to prepare themselves financially for extreme freedom, for abundance, but more importantly, for peace as we age gracefully, to be successful and not to have money, for lack of a better term, as a worry, and really build that legacy that we always talking about, but how we can be about it and let them know it's not too late. That's the reason why I'm targeting the people that I'm targeting.
It's not too late, and I love you say that. When you say sandwich generation, tell me a little more about the sandwich generation.
The sandwich generation we have children in college that we're taking care of and need to make sure they're okay, and then we have parents that are getting older that may need care. So we're right in the middle. And what happens with the sandwich generation is that we end up putting ourselves and our needs at jeopardy because we're taking care of both of these other populations. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people are going into debt, trying to get their children through college or getting their children on their feet. They're going through debt, trying to make sure that their parents are okay because Social Security is not secure. Hello. And we don't understand that at the same time, we have our own needs, right? We still have our own careers and our journeys. So it truly is a blessing and an opportunity to be an entrepreneur, but our call and our mission has to be so much greater just because of where we are in life, where we are in this middle road, right? We have been pulled in all these different directions, and we still got to make sure that we're maintaining ourselves because we're living longer and growing older as well.
Yeah. And for a number of folks that listen, like Nicole Brown Hurston's out there, Clarice Williams says hello, Marie Thorpe is watching. So many folks are tuning in right now, and it's just super amazing.
Hey, y'all.
take a moment and just talk about, before we go live, we got to start the show. I know I'm getting it over there. We got to start this. Take a moment and kind of talk about, if you would, why do folks today as entrepreneurs, well, forget this, talk about balancing. How do you balance all of that? You just talked about the sandwich generation. You talked about all the things we have to go through. I know you were going to talk about time management, but how do you balance it all? Balance being a mom, balance taking care of the kids, balance folks who are in college, balance being an entrepreneur, balance taking care of your parents, balance contributing to your community, balance contributing to your faith. I mean, what is your secret to balancing all this?
Putting me first. Most importantly, my health. So you are of no good to anybody. I am not, you hear me talk a lot about not burning the candle on both ends. Honestly, y'all, that's ridiculous. You are of no good to anybody if you're beat down, broke, busted, and disgusted. And so I had to shift. I'm a mom of 5, Shay. I also have, my parents live in a different city and I'm the oldest. And so I had to make sure that I was good. Right? I had to make sure that my business was good and could run without me for X number of days or whatever. I had to make sure that I was accessible to the people who needed to have access to me, but I was inaccessible to the people who didn't. I think, unfortunately, one of the downsides to what social media has done is that everybody thinks that they should have access to you all the time. That is not real. That goes for your clients. That goes for your employees. Stop it. You have a life. And your life is important. And you don't ever want your family or your children or loved ones, your spouse, to grow resentful because you out here saving the world. So I had to realize that I needed to prioritize and make sure that I was good. Make sure that I rested, make sure I eat well, make sure that I stay in shape, make sure I unplug my phone, right? Make sure you shut down because they deserve your time and love. And when you prioritize, I do trust God that everything else comes into play.
Wow, with 5 kids, being an entrepreneur, so much to take care of. What's one of the reasons you decided to share your experience, share your expertise with the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe and all those folks who are watching on Apple TV or Amazon Fire or they're on YouTube or Roku or on the podcast platforms and all of my Facebook social media folks? If you're out there like Peg DeShane, Floyd Wright, Selena Chrism, all of you, look below the video and say, what's up? Why are you here this evening? Why are you here?
Hey, because I don't think my story is necessarily unique, but it's something that a lot of people don't know. I actually grew up in Detroit, the hardest working city. I don't care what anybody says. We grew up with my parents, blue collar, hard working, and you were going to graduate from college, right? Everybody got that message, right? Go to school, work hard, graduate from college, and you were going to work at the plant. You were going to work for Ford. You were going to be a nurse. You were going to be a teacher. You were going to be a lawyer, doctor, Rarely did they even say Indian chief, right? Nobody was waking up and saying, we want you to own your own business. We want you to create or invent something. We want you to be well, actually, my dad was big on investing, but we can talk about that later. And what I saw, Che, is that my mother worked very hard for a bank and was involved with a class action racial discrimination suit because she did not have a college degree. She was actually training people who were our age at the time to replace her and make twice as much money. I saw her colleagues have meetings with the lawyers in our basement when I was 12 years old, and I saw them crying. I saw them worried about them losing their homes. And this was, again, in the 80s, right? So it wasn't a recession. It was about these conglomerates, right? All the banks were buying up and they were downsizing. They were putting hardworking people out because they did not have a plan B. They were relying on pensions. They were relying on that 40 and 40, right? 40 hours, 40 hours a week, 40 years, and you get a pen, like for real?
Yeah.
That's what they were relying on. And so I'll tell you, honestly, Che, I was 12 years old. I was eavesdropping. Okay, yes, I was. I was ear hustling in all those meetings. Hearing those people cry, and I said, at 12, whatever they are doing, I don't want to do that. So if that's what a job will do to good work, hardworking people, I'm not going to do that. So yes, I went to college. Yes, I have a master's degree because my parents, I'm oldest. You got to please them. Right. But literally, even when I was in high school, I learned to start organizations. I would go to the library and find out, how do I start a student council? How do I start a gospel choir? I've literally been building associations and organizations since then. I was the student mayor of my city in Oak Park, Michigan. I was literally the person who was like, I want to do what the leaders do. I want to follow what they do. So when everybody else was reading Judy Blume, I was reading about Winston Churchill and Abraham Lincoln, Tell the Truth, Shame the Devil.
Yeah, all right
So
now.
I always knew that I wanted to be in charge of my destiny. I was blessed with parents who, although still wonder what I was doing, they just trusted. Like, she's eating, so I guess she's doing okay. And so that's what I started out doing: policy work, trying to find out how entrepreneurs got money from the government.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, when I worked for the Small Business Administration, helping entrepreneurs then apply for grants and to make money. I was even working with displaced workers from the big three who lost their jobs, Shay, and they needed a place they needed something to do. And so I started out training them how to build businesses: florists, beauty salons, barbers, daycares, you name it. I just believe the entrepreneur is critical to our existence, to our culture, and to our society on every level.
So that is so true. And if you can, because we got to get started, by the way. Justin Morgan is out there. Thanks for joining. Tanisha's out there. Peg DeShane, Jimmy May, Janet Rosser, Selena, Redo F. Cook. So many of you are tuning in right now. We appreciate every single one of you. Take a minute, because we got to get going, okay? You just took off. You came out on fire. You're like, you showed up. You ready.
I came out the gate, man. I came out the gate at 11 o'clock.
For everyone that's watching right now, you know we're getting started. Look right below the video and just write these words. It's my time. It's my time. It's your time right now. And I'm going to ask our special guest today. I'm going to ask Shawn M. Mason if she'll take just a minute and just talk about why is it important as an entrepreneur or someone in personal professional development for you to tune in this night to learn how to write copy to get your message to your target audience. Why is that so important?
Regardless, although video is what we watch, you still are speaking. You're still using words. Whether you prefer podcasts, you're still using words. Words are so important. And if you do not plan those words, strategically choose the words that you use, you're missing out on opportunities to connect, create, and convert your ideal client, the people who you want to know about you. It is so important that people stop just getting on there and just talking. I don't know who in the world, Che, gave this message. You can talk your book. You can talk this. Okay, listen, I might be sounding a little stuck up, but I'm an English teacher. We don't always talk and be able to translate where someone can understand it, right? There has to be a background. There has to be context. There has to be understanding. And so we have to take the time to plan our content and be strategic so that we can get them to actually know what we want them to know and do what we want them to do. Sometimes we're just giving people like the middle, right?
Yeah.
We're not giving them the background, not giving them the end. I have read so many pieces of content going, so what do you want me to do now?
Yeah.
Why did you even send me this? Okay. Mm-hmm. There has to be an intent from your emails to your polls to even your tweets. What are you doing and why are you doing it? Especially if you're doing it in the name of business or personal branding. Now, if you just want to pop off, I guess that's a different story for a different show. But for your people, right? For your people, they have to understand how important words are, and get out of the habit of saying what people necessarily want to hear, right? Mm-hmm. And saying what people need so that we can move the needle. Transformation, transcendence, whatever your goals are, they start with the words that you speak, and how those words reach people is really my secret sauce. Because everything isn't for everybody. Everything isn't for everybody. Sure. And the more that people realize that you can't. Oh gosh, I read so many copywriters, and again, I'm already gonna say, Lord, forgive me already. I read so many copywriters, and they're talking in a way that's cute and cool, but when you read it, it's confusing. It doesn't make any sense. We talk about popping and smacking and slaying and dragging and all that. Listen, if I don't know what you mean, it didn't work for me. You didn't communicate with me, right? And we're assuming a lot when we get a little too coy in our conversation.
That is powerful. That is very powerful. We come back. She's going to break this thing down. For those folks that said, it's my time, like Salima, tonight is your night. For those folks that said, it's my time, like Maria Thorpe, you're at the right place. For those folks like Rendell who said, it's my time, I promise you, this will be a good use of your time. We're going to go ahead and kick this thing off. The producer's like, God, Lord, you guys have been going and going. Look, when we come back, I'm going to have her break down killer copy. How do you write it? How do you think about it? How do you plan it? If that's you, pay attention. We're about to kick off. It's showtime now. We're going to get started in 5, 4, 3. This has been so much fun. 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Let's rock this thing out. It's showtime, ladies and gentlemen. So much fun. I love it. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win. Yeah.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources necessary to execute the 3 visions that you have. I believe you have a vision for yourself, how you want to live, the food you want to eat, the restaurants you want to attend with the white tablecloths. It takes some money to do that. You have a vision, and money means resources, by the way. You have a vision for your loved ones, the schools you want to send your kids to, the vacations you want to take them on. Some of you want to write a check for health care insurance for someone in your family. Some of you just want to write a check and pay off someone's mortgage or give to your favorite charity. It takes resources, which means it takes revenue to get those resources. And then we're on a mission to help you get the resources necessary, third one, to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And this morning, this evening, this afternoon, no matter what time it is, no matter where you are in the world, you have the one and only Shawn M. Mason, who's going to be walking you through how not just so much to write killer sales copy, but how do you know if it's working? So I'm going to ask her the first question. We're going to jump right into it because she's just like that. She's a rock star. Now, go read her bio. I get it. We put it below. You'll find out how wonderful she is. Some of you are already looking for her on social media. Don't worry. We'll get to that. But here's the question I have for her out the gate. When you're writing copy, and let's say you're writing it so you can speak to your target audience, can you give us one, may I get 3 ideas from you in a moment? What's one idea that you'd like to share for us as an audience to be able to write our own copy?
Know why you're writing it. Okay. It sounds so basic, but every piece of content or copy to have a mission and a purpose in and of itself. Inform, to educate, to inspire, to get them to buy something, to get them to the webinar, to lead them somewhere, to break down a system or a process. Each one of the pieces of content that you create, first define the purpose of it. Don't just be out there willy-nilly doing whatever. Right? And if it means to get them to know you better, because as you know, we buy from, everyone knows this, especially your incredible educated watchers because of you and all the information that you give them, Che. I'm telling you, they know, like, trust, follow, right? You already know those. These are the people that we buy from. These are the people that we buy from, those that we know, like, trust, and follow. So if you are targeting the right people, then make sure that they have these things in common with every piece of content that you create, that they know you, that they like you, that they trust you, and that they're following you. Those are really your rock. Those are your diehard clients. Those are the people that are really rocking with you. The people who are just, like I said, randomly, the tire kickers and the lurkers, we all have them. But when I write a piece of copy, I'm writing to the people who rock with me, the people who roll with me, the people who see me in Target and always like, oh my God, I got your newsletter the other day, right? So those are my people, right? We are one. And you develop that kind of culture by the messaging that you do consistently in everything that you do. It has to be consistent, even if it's different, right? Even if it's in audio or video, or even when they're in person. When I see you in person, Che, you're the same in person as you are on this podcast. That's what people appreciate. But when you are doing all this stuff and talk about how grand and great things are, and then they see you in person and you don't even speak to them, they're not rocking with you.
So if folks know that copy is important, sales copy is important, what do you say to the person that, unlike you, they're not an English teacher, okay, or studied English, and they struggle with getting an idea out of their head? And I've been stuck here so many times where I'm trying to figure out, well, does this sound good? It doesn't even sound like it's okay. What do you suggest? And I know you do this, and we're going to share with y'all how y'all all can connect with Shawn. This is what she does with her clients. But what do you tell your clients that get stuck with just getting, like, let's call it a headline out? Like, let's say people are sending emails. I'll just say that. Or they're writing a headline for social media, or they're writing a headline for the video they're going to do, and they struggle with that. Like, oh my gosh, what suggestions do you give to your clients? Because that holds a lot of people back.
Oh, absolutely. I suggest one, free write. I suggest that you get it out of your head in whatever form it is first. So the one thing that people do, they want it to be perfect right out the rip. No, you have to write and rewrite and rewrite. Now, the reason why I say free write, one, you start with what your key points are, right? So, for example, let's say this podcast, you know that the date has to be on there, right? The time, how to connect. So you can put that at the top. And then write. No editing, no proofreading, nothing. Get it out of your head. Then I ask them to read it out loud. And I'm telling you, if you read some of the stuff you write out loud, OMG, right? So once you read it out loud, you can start doing some correcting and some editing. Always spell check, always grammar check, and always have some, and these tools are all free. Che, man, like I went to school to be an English teacher, and now you got English teachers on Google, like, right? I mean, so you can do all of these things, and in the end, share it with someone. I mean, just put another second pair of eyes on it. And if you just got to first of all, stop waiting till the last minute to get it out, because it's a process. But if you really don't have it, always be step away from it after you've done it, and then go back to it the second time before you send. Because we are too close. Entrepreneurs are personal. We're passionate, man. And we just literally, like, we know you need this, and we're hammering into people. Walk away, grab some water, some tea, some lemonade, and stop looking at it as you and start looking at it as your client. As your ideal customer. That's the biggest thing. People are like, well, I don't know why they didn't get my t-shirt. I'm like, well, they may not even wear t-shirts. Do you even know? Right? I mean, they just literally, entrepreneurs are like, I mean, how is it you did not get my course on how to be a millionaire tomorrow? I'm like, maybe their goal isn't to be a millionaire. I know that's scary for you, right? But you really got to step away from things, stop taking things so personal, and really speak to them, not so much to yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's a big thing that I get from my clients. They literally are so sold on what they do and how great they are, which is wonderful, right? It's part of our job as entrepreneurs. But step away. We talk about pain, but honestly, Che, if someone is in pain, they don't always need to be reminded about the pain right off the rip, right? They might need to you might need to relate to them. You might need to understand, and again, give context, as I said earlier.
When you say context, if you can, and for those folks that are watching right now, Shawn's okay with this. I'm going to suggest you hit the share button. And when you hit the share button, I want you to write, "It's your time to connect with your audience." Just put, "It's time to connect with your audience." Just put, "It's time to connect with your audience." And you can hit the share button now. Some of you are hitting the watch party button. Now, why are you doing that? Because Shawn's helping entrepreneurs right now. She's helping leaders right now. And she's going to break down kind of step by step how you can write your own sales copy and save yourself a lot of money. Because some of you have talked to folks and said, "Well, you write it for me." And they say, "Well, what do you want?" You say, "Well, I don't know." "Well, how much is it?" You say, "Well, I can't pay that." And that's a challenge, and I know that. So I want you to pay it forward to another entrepreneur. I want you to bless another speaker or author or coach or trainer or expert with this message. Or maybe they're a leader. You got to be a leader of one before you're a leader of many. So I want you to lead other folks right now. Shawn, what about those writer blocks that are out there? And you get writer blocks, and you just stare, and you stare, and you stare. And you write the right word, and then you erase the word. And then you're like, "I don't know about this." I mean,
it's funny to talk about writer's block. I actually teach a course on writing, and one of the things that I teach is that the blank screen is the most intimidating place to be. Okay, it's a blank screen. So I always say write something, and where I like them to start is write a question on the screen, like what I want them to know, or what's in my heart. Share. You are prompting yourself to release. A lot of times people don't understand, and that's the reason why there's a lot of, and I won't say bad writing, it's unintentional writing that's out there, is because we don't take it seriously. And because we're in this world that's inundated, and we do have people who have professional writers, let's be honest, guys, I can tell when you just threw it together, right? So take the time. You have writer's block, set aside a time. And Che and I talked about this earlier. Put on some music that encourages you. Get some inspiration. Grab those candles. Grab that. I have candles all the time somewhere around me, and really center. Get rid of those distractions. And this is something that may be hard for you, but some people I encourage to outline. Look at a piece of content. Now, this is where I want you to. We are not talking about stealing. Please. But there was a piece of content that moved you. Look at the structure of it. Analyze it. I call them proxies, right? Some people call them swipe files. Look at a sales page and say, "Wow, what is it in this sales page that really got me?" Right? And make sure that you have a similar element, right? Maybe they have some great HD pictures. Maybe they have themselves on audio. Maybe they have behind the scenes. If those are the elements of that sales page or something that moves you, incorporate that in your work as well. But when it comes to writing, Jay, you gotta do it, and you have to work your craft. Stop trying to put these unrealistic deadlines on yourself. "Oh, I'm gonna write this sales page," especially your program is $2,000. And you really gonna write that sales page in 20 minutes for real? You gonna write it in between the commercials during the playoffs? No, you're not. It's not gonna happen, people. It's not gonna happen. Okay, I don't know if Che told you, I'm a comedian too, so I'm being honest. Okay, it's not gonna happen, honey. Don't do it, honey. It's not gonna work for you. So take the time to write and rewrite, and look at, because success, as we always know, has clues.
Yeah. And you mentioned swipe file. Break that down, because I've been guilty, and I might be the only one. Maybe other folks out there, maybe you haven't had this problem. For those folks that hit the share button, we thank you so much. We appreciate you sharing it with your community. You have Shawn's permission to do that. You can share it into a private group. You can share it to your page. You can take the link. You can post it on social media, on LinkedIn. So thank you so much. And for everyone who's making comments below, many of you are writing the notes and you're digital note takers. We want to say thank you. I know I appreciate it. Shawn appreciate it. You're a digital note taker, and you're blessing someone else who goes back and get a chance to watch this. The podcast podcast folks sometimes can't take notes, and they say, Shay, I'm so thankful. So thank every single one of you. And if you can get a moment, go ahead and put a note, a big takeaway that you have right now. Put that right below the video. My question, Shawn, before we go to commercial, like, Shay, we got to go to commercial. We'll get there. But my question really is about headlines, because I've been guilty of, I've got everything in one folder. So I'm trying to see, how do you organize your swipe file? Because I'm like, oh, that sounds good. Oh, that sounds good too. Oh, that email sounds good. No. That sales page really sounds good. And I look back and I have like 1,000, literally, I'm guilty, I've been doing this for you, into one big folder. So can you help folks like myself and maybe a few other of you who are out there right now, how do you organize your swipe file? Do you do it by headlines? Do you do it by, how do you organize that stuff? Because I keep everything. I'm guilty.
Right.
I gotta stop. Well, I got a problem.
Right. Yeah, I know. Right. You have a problem. Admit that you have a problem. Step one.
And I'm the only one that got it.
No, you are not the only one that has it.
I feel like it.
Right. No, you're not. So one, I use a tool called Evernote. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can use OneNote. Okay. Two, I'm a big, huge, Google Doc is everything Google is my friend. I organize them by the type of content, Shay. I look at headlines, and I'll be honest with you, I do put a limit. Okay, I put a limit, say 20 or so.
Okay.
And I really look at the commonalities between them, length of words, what words seem to, like I said, grab my attention maybe a little bit more than others. And I stop there. Okay. And let me just tell you why. Because I believe that we are in a lazy culture. This is no offense to you hardworking creatives that I'm talking to now. I'm talking about the culture. It's okay to rinse and repeat your processes that work for you and your people. But not everything works for everybody. And so what we're doing is that we're looking at these gurus or the people who we are admiring, and we're incorporating, literally, I've seen people just take a whole sales page. Okay, can I lean in? If this is you, I need you to realize that even if you think their people are your people, they are not. I mean, there's literally so many people right out here in this space, right? And they make decisions. There's a psychology to marketing, and they make decisions to work with a certain person for many different reasons, man. It might just be the time. It might just be the season. It might just be, like I said, it was late night, like you do QVC, and they just clicked on a button and end up on that person's list. Don't get it twisted. Numbers or followers does not equal sales. Just because you have, you see somebody with 1 million followers, that doesn't mean they have 1 million people buying their products. And so you're looking at the big picture, but again, that sales page attracted those people, but that doesn't mean that they converted them to sales. You want to speak to your people and know your people, like right here, right? Intimately, and speak to your people. My people are creatives. They reinvent themselves. They absolutely would rather write or speak or do comedy than do anything related to business, right? So there's a specific thing that I talk to them about that some people who are already entrepreneurs, right? I won't have to talk to them about it. Right? Or people who are beginning in their business versus people who have been in their business 5, 10, or someone like you and I, Jay, 20 something years, man. What you say to me is going to be different than what you say to somebody who just woke up in the morning and decided to start their business.
Yeah.
So you have to know your people. And that's what I talk about, the context. The more content that you share that weeds people out, the better your copy and your content will become. You got to get rid of the lurkers, or you got to really pay attention to the people who actually purchase your products, go through your programs. Those are the ones that matter. And you want to keep speaking to them and stop trying to appeal to everybody all the time.
I love what you're saying. I love that you took a lot of time to talk about headlines, and that's very important. I mean, you think about newspapers, even the New York Times. The New York Times has two writers. They get paid $175,000 each, and all they do is write headlines. That's all they do. Now, you think about that. It's almost $500,000, and they're writing headlines just to grab your attention. And Shawn's spending a lot of time telling you to make sure you have the right swipe file to grab attention. When we come back, I'm going to ask Shawn what are some of her secrets to telling stories inside of her copy. Now, for those folks that are watching, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to give a digital applause. And now, how do you give a digital applause? We're just getting started, by the way. But I want you to look right below the video. Look right below the video. And Shawn's probably wondering, am I doing a good job? She's probably wondering, are you getting some value? Look below the video and say, thank you, Shawn. Or put, we appreciate you, Shawn. Or say, keep on going, Shawn. You know, Shawn, to make sure she was together like I did before we got started. And so, Shawn, you look great over there.
Yes, that's what's up. What?
She had to tell her she looks great. She looks great. Give her a little encouragement.
Thank you.
So you can look right below the video. Janet's working hard. Janet and Roz are taking so many notes out there. Look below the video and say, thank you. We appreciate you. We're going to come back. We're going to go all the way over right now to California, to my good friend, Jerry Foster. And Jerry Foster is going to mention, are you ready for 2020? Are you ready for 2020? We'll be back in just a moment. Take it away, Jerry.
Hi, happy entrepreneurs. I'm Jerry Foster, creator of the Big Brand Formula, also known as the Branding Evangelist. And today is my January 1st. And my challenge to you is, are you ready in 2020 to meet the call for finding your uniqueness, tearing down walls of buying resistance, and accelerating what you are here on this earth to accomplish? And if you are, then you want to make sure that you put out an exceptional brand, not an ordinary brand, an exceptional, extraordinary brand. How do you do that? Well, the first thing you've got to commit yourself to is clearly and powerfully communicating your magnificence by distinguishing your business from other people who do what it is that you do. And number two, get buyers to see you in a very favorable way. Very important, a favorable way by delivering what's called unrivaled value. So people feel they're getting something from you that really is going to please them. And number three, focus on establishing your legacy by building your reputation around exceeding your customers' expectations in such a manner whereby they feel that they are well taken care of. And when it's all said and done, you're going to be looked upon as having something as a brand that is different, that is better, and provides that experience unlike no one else. This is Jerry Foster, the Branding Evangelist. Take care.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. That is to empower, that is to inspire, and that's to provide you, the happy entrepreneur, you, the business owner, you, the mom, you, the dad, you, the single mom, you, the married man, you, the person that gets up every single day. You pay your taxes, but you also want to have more meaning in this world. As an entrepreneur, the money will come. You also want to have more impact in this world. The income will come. And you also, as my good friend Delatour McNeil would say, you also want to make a dollar and a difference at the same time. Holla at your boy if that's you. You're like, I just want to make a dollar and a difference at the same time. You look right below the video and just put make a dollar and a difference at the same time, because you can do it. And we have Shawn Mason. She's given of her time, the most precious gift she has, to really help us understand copy and then put it as one of our systems that we can use in our business. So this is a revenue conversation. You know, sometimes we have conversations because we believe the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. So sometimes we just focus on getting results in your life, and we need that. That's important. And other times we're focused on getting results in your bank account. Someone say ching ching, baby, ching ching. So, so if that's you, pay close attention. Shawn, I guess the question I have is, how do you go about crafting stories? Now that's a big conversation. It's so big, but you write you write stories as a writer. You use it in your copy. Is there a simple formula that we can incorporate? Forget trying to make a subject verb agree. Lord, that's hard. But is there some formula that you use when you're crafting stories to help get your message across? It's a loaded question, but do the best you can. Help us out.
Right, for sure. I like to take it back to kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
Come on. Beginning, middle, end. Now, the great thing about creatives is that it doesn't have to be in that order. So here I'm giving y'all, like, this is such a key pearl. This is why my clients absolutely love me. You just have to make sure all three of them are there in the story. You don't have to have them in that order. See, a lot of people, when you come out, just like when you came out the gate, you're giving people behind the scenes. You don't always start with your name, right? You start with the cool thing about you, the things that make the difference, the things that people really want to know. Remember, we already talked about know, like, trust, follow, right? So when you're telling your story, let people know you. Let people like you. And what I mean by that is share relatability, share likable qualities. Okay? So again, mom always told you, don't be talking about sex, religion, and politics. Okay? Now, I mean, we got to go back to grandma basics when you're crafting your story.
Yeah.
But also in that trust, we have to share our hearts with people. Right? And you want to know what, again, moves your people. There are 4 kinds of people. There are people who are moved by family. There are people who are moved by money. There are people who are moved by status. Right? And there are people who are moved straight up by fun.
Now,
right?
Now, can you repeat that one more time? She just dropped another $50,000 idea. She's been dropping $50,000 nuggets. They're bouncing all over these fiber optic lines right now. But give us those 4, and then she's doing those 4. Nathan, Angela, and all of you out there, do me a favor. Look below the video and put "people are moved by." There are 4 type of people. Give it to us so we can write it down. Let me get my notes. Write it down.
It's all good. There are a lot of archetypes, but I'm giving y'all the basics.
That's fine. Give it the basics
because
one more time.
There are some people who are moved by family, right?
Family.
Their loved ones.
Family.
Okay, and I don't know if I got it in this order because I'm just flowing right now.
That's good.
But there are people who are moved by money, by, again, how much money they can earn, what they can get. There are people who are also moved by status, their position, promotion, how people will see them in the world. And then there are people who are moved straight up by fun.
Wow.
Right? They just want to get it. I'm like, oh my God, Chase so cool. I'm just gonna come to his event, right? They don't know nothing about entrepreneurship, man. They just like your energy. There are people who are moved by that. A lot of direct sales companies and a lot of companies, I'm giving real tools here, that are predominantly led by women. Many of the people who follow them, they follow them for the fun. They follow them for the fun. And then you have organizations where people just, they want the status, right? What kind of organizations are moved in terms of status and positioning? Universities, colleges. Come on, you want to be Dr. such and such and such and such, right? So people are moved by that. So they're speaking to the people who are moved by that. There are people who just want to get paid. And I'm going to tell you something, Che. Most of the people who want to get paid aren't necessarily being honest, because if money moved them as much as they say that it moved them, they'd be making more of it. So a lot of times we're putting all this, make them, like I said, make $1 million in a week, make $1 million in a day. Yeah, okay. They don't necessarily believe in or have the confidence. It just sounds good. So that's why we have to get to the people who want to be empowered, right? Information for themselves, right? Before their loved ones. Like I say all the time, and again, y'all can use this in your copy if you want to. I'm going to can I just go ahead and just put out.
Go there.
When you are dealing with a population that is new to what it is that you offer, you want to connect with them based on who they care about. We will do more for other people that we care about than we will do ourselves. So a lot of your marketing is missing the mark because you're not giving them the picture of what they can do for other people. You're only talking about what they can do for themselves.
Whoa, give us an example. That last one was very powerful. It's what it will do for other people. And I love you said that marketing is missing the point because of course we like sales. But it's so important because sometimes people go to marketing and say, well, what should I say? What sounds good? What feels good? And you're now empowering the entrepreneur. You're empowering them to say, no, no, no. You might not know the exact words, but at least you have the system. And one of the things that I share, and I've said it probably 1,000,000 times, I'm going to say it 100,000,000 times before I leave this earth, systems beat goals every time. And so you may have a goal to make $1 million, but if you have a system in place to make 10,000 and you run that system and it's repeatable, it's duplicatable, and it's someone else's labor, you'll get to the $1 million. You have the system. So she's giving you a copywriting system right now that you can hand over to your marketing team. You understand what happens. So give us an example of that last one that people are moved by what they can do for others. That's very, very powerful. Very powerful.
Let me give you one of the things that I learned from a great mentor. I read the book, and it's so funny because I'm just thinking it's by John Johnson and Dennis Kimbrough. It literally is moving my brain right now. But let me just say what I learned. There are many, and I'm speaking just specifically for African Americans because of this book, but there are many African American millionaires who don't want to tell anyone that they're millionaires, because of the association or the idea of what people will do and or think about them, or what people associate with, how you act when you got money. Okay. Why is that important to you as the entrepreneur? Some people want to make a dollar, make a difference, right? For others, for the community, and they will move heaven and earth to make sure that their parents are in a better nursing facility. They will drop whatever they're doing to make sure that their children get to that study abroad program. But to say, you're going to look good in this, and you're going to wear this mink, and you're going to drive this car, it may not move them, guys. I'm just being straight up with you all. That may not move them, because they're already thinking, that can't happen to me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not flashy like that. What is my family going to think? See, when you're writing copy, you're not just writing for what you want them to know. You're answering huge. Jay, again, this is going to yours. You're also answering their objections. You're taking away their excuses. You're getting them uncomfortable and staying relatable. That's how you're going to get it. And so especially if your target are women or people in this sandwich generation, they're just trying to maintain. You're talking about, breaking down walls and doing all this stuff. And like I said, I want you to buy this, and you're going to make this, and you're going to make this. They're like, I can't even make dinner. And now you want me to go out here. Now you want me to go and do what? You want me to learn 17 million programs and find out what a funnel is? Come on. I'm still trying to make sure that old boy puts on a hat and gloves when he leave the house because it's 10 degrees, right?
Yeah.
So you got to get in there and really talk about what they're experiencing now. Everybody's not going to see all of this big grandiose. That's the thing that's unfortunately challenging about social media, because people are seeing the end. Jay, right? They're seeing your Tyler Perry studio. They didn't see you when you were sitting in a car homeless. We're only showing the end. There are a lot of people who are being lost in the middle. And that's where I think marketers are dropping the ball. Everybody's wanting to show the Lamborghini and show the big house and all of that. Listen, if you are at a certain age and stage in your life, you are skeptical of everything. You have been cheated and robbed and all that other stuff. So why wouldn't you address that? Why wouldn't you deal with that? If you want to work with me, you got to deal with where I am right now. Not all of this other stuff. You can get me there, Che, but again, if you're not connecting with me, you can't even take me on the journey because I'm not feeling you. I don't trust you yet, right? I don't like you yet. And that is the difference because we coming out the gate, like I said, bing, bing, blank, whatever. We coming out the gate, man.
I'm loving it. And when we come back, for those folks that are watching, she's breaking down how to write sales copy and how to know if it's working. She's giving you her insider secrets. When we come back, I'm going to ask her about how does she go about injecting humor into her copy and into her conversation. There was a gentleman, Marshall Silver, who taught me many years ago that funny equals money. And so sometimes you got to be able to add humor. And so we're not all comedians. We all may not have that style. But what's the formula for helping to get the timing and rhythm just to add humor? And for some of you, that goes a long way. That might not be in your copy. Now, for some of you, that doesn't make any sense. That's fine. But for others, you're like, well, I want to have some things that makes them say, or put a smile on their face, or takes them to a place at a good spot because I'm making a very serious point. I don't know how to do it, but I know I have the expert here. When we come back, I know I have the person that writes copy. This is the person that you want to connect with. When she come back, I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to ask her how can you connect with her, but more importantly, I want you to hit the share button. I want you to hit the share button right now. And when you hit the share button, I want you to write these words right now. Today is my January 1st. Why? Because you get a do-over. You get a rebirth. You get to add copywriting systems as one of the skill sets that you are going to learn. And you might not be the best. That's okay. But you have a better understanding. You can give direction to your marketing team. You can give direction to your sales team. You can give direction to your social media team. And if you are that team, you just got better. Why? Because Shawn Mason's adding the one skill that holds most entrepreneurs back. They're like, I can't get my website done because I don't know what to put on there, Shay. I'm waiting for the person to help me write it. Shay, I never got around to writing the post that I know I want to say, but I haven't put it on social media. Now she's going to come back and talk about how to break down humor. So look below the video and put, I am a successful CEO. Hit the share button, hit the watch button. And when you do that, hit, I am a successful CEO. We'll talk about that. I am a successful CEO. Why? Because you're here. And today is your what? January 1st. We're going to go over to Dr. Kenneth Thigpen. She's down in Raleigh, North Carolina. She's going to talk about make a decision. Hey, look, make a decision. You're going to learn copywriting. Make that decision. Draw a line in the sand because today is your January 1st. We'll be back in just a moment. Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, take it away.
Hello, it's your girl, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, also known as Dr. K, founder of Rise Women's Network. And Rise Women's Network is pleased to present to you, #Next Sister Up. I'm with you in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, and today is my January 1st. Here's your thought of the week. Make a decision. Yes, make a decision. You see, I was out with my girlfriend and her son, and we stopped at a candy store. And she told her son that he could get one thing, but he must be at the register to check out by the time she got there. So he's running around the store and he's like, ooh, this one, I want this one, I want this one. And so I'm looking at her, I'm looking at him, I'm looking at her, I'm looking at him. And then I see her coming and she grabs her son by the hand and she says, since you couldn't make a decision, you leave with nothing. You see, in life, we have these windows of opportunities to make decisions, and typically we don't. We should be making decisions about walking in our purpose, about relationships, health, wealth, our business, our careers, our spirituality, our products, and our services. But we don't make that decision because we're afraid we're going to make the wrong decision. Or maybe we're afraid we're going to regret the decision. Or a lot of times, it's because we lack clarity. And even worse is that if we don't make a decision at all. Now, here's the thing. It's important that we make a decision, and we make a decision by focusing on our desired outcome. As Eric Thomas said, You got to take advantage of the opportunity of a lifetime within the lifetime of an opportunity. So I challenge you this week, make a decision. It's your girl, Dr. K. Make it a great day.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country. We're on a mission to empower. We're on a mission to inspire. And we're on a mission to provide you with the resources which equal revenue so you can purchase everything you need with the resources necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And this morning, this evening, this afternoon, doesn't matter what time you are, doesn't matter when you tuned in, you have the one and only Shawn M. Mason, who she ain't holding back. She give you everything she got. She came to give. She has a heart to serve. She has a heart to give, and she's doing that right now. And before we started, she didn't say, Shay, I need a Cash App payment. She ain't say, send me a Zelly, baby. She ain't say no credit card, no check. She said, I'm coming to serve because I believe in you. And you is the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. All of you watching, you're already champions. You're already winners. You already have greatness inside you. You wouldn't be watching right now. You would be listening to the podcast right now with my voice and her voice in your ears if you didn't know that you had the potential inside of you to perform at a higher level than whatever level you're performing at right now. So I just want to acknowledge you for the champion. I want to acknowledge you for the winner. I want to acknowledge you for hitting the share button. Those that did it, I want to acknowledge you for hitting that watch party button. And for those that made a comment below and said, thank you, Shawn. If you haven't done that, look right below the video right now and say, thank you, Shawn. We appreciate you, Shawn. Shawn, you're doing a great job because one thing I know is that every one of you watching right now, you all can make more money. As soon as you learn script writing, you're going to make more money. All of you can do that. But here's what I know with 100% certainty. None of you, including me, can make more time. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. And Shawn's giving us the most precious resource she had that she can't get back. She says, I have 5 kids, Shay. I've got a business that I'm running. I got a lot that I'm going on, but I'll be there. So look below the video and just say, thank you, Shawn. Just say, we appreciate you, Shawn Mason. Say, you rock, Shawn Mason. Give her a little encouragement. She'll go back. She's tuned in right now. She's focused on you. If you listen to the podcast, make comments right there on iTunes. Make comments right on Stitcher. We go back. We love all of our podcasters, all of our Apple TV viewers, all of our Roku folks, Amazon Fire. God bless you. Thank you so much. We love you. All right, Shawn, you're talking about sales copy. You're talking about the importance of it. Break down for a minute humor and why that's important. And how did you go about like having this humor that you have? Is humor something that just happens? That's a 2-part question. Is humor something that just happens? Does it just come naturally, number one? And then number 2, what's the importance of adding it to your copy in which you're writing?
So, Shay, this is such a great question. You are awesome, by the way. Thanks again for having me. Like, I feel like I need to go back and watch this myself. Like,
I'm just hanging out, ladies and gentlemen.
We're
hanging out.
We're like just hanging out, right? Late night. I told him earlier, I feel like I'm on the Jimmy Fallon of entrepreneur shows. Like, don't you always want to be on a late night show?
Thank you. Thank you.
So again, I love that. So it's such a great question. I actually believe that humor is work. Writing humor. I actually started doing comedy, which is it ties into my entrepreneurial journey. Is I started doing comedy to write sitcoms and to write comedians. So to write for comedians. And so it was always about the writing. It's, believe it or not, even when I was in direct sales, it was about the writing. It was about the sharing of the story. It was about really, again, connecting with people. And humor is just the best way to decrease intimidation, increase likability. And the first person that I always start, now I'm not talking about self-deprecating humor, but the first person that I laugh at every single day is myself.
Yourself?
Absolutely, myself.
Okay, this is good.
I think we take ourselves too seriously, right? So your email was supposed to be out at 6:00. It comes out at 6:02. You're freaking out. Oh my God! Or you had a typo in your post, and you got to go back and edit it. And let me tell you, instead of covering it up, making it seem like everything is perfect, laugh at yourself. Go back and really take some inventory and have some fun yourself. Humor starts with you. It starts with you having an understanding of the world that you're in and the world that your audience is in. All of my set, I've been doing comedy. This is my 10-year anniversary. I've been doing comedy, stand-up comedy, which is so crazy when I think about it. And all I did was talk about my 5 children. And then unfortunately it started out at the beginning of the demise of my marriage for almost 20 years. So again, humor is a way to connect, build a community, build a culture. Most of the people that are part of my crew, my team, they are people who had a midlife transition, a hiccup, right? A divorce. They had some serious weight gain, some serious weight loss. They lost their job, or better yet, they found themselves bored out of their minds, not doing anything that they thought they were going to do. And they decided that they wanted to reinvent themselves. So they connect with me, and I give them permission by being vulnerable and transparent to go and do it, and do it big. Listen, your credit score might be 500 right now, honey. Guess what? You got an opportunity for it to be 502 tomorrow. Keep on doing it, right? Look, bruh, I know your ex is acting crazy, or the kids are acting crazy, but here's an opportunity for you to step into that sport podcast. I work with a client, and he's always wanted to he has a great voice. Okay. Love sports. Ding, ding, ding. Right? Who says you can't? The people that I work with are people I say they can. And I do it by incorporating humor at myself and share my journey and where it is that I start. And no matter what industry, and I love that you asked this, because I want everyone who thinks, well, I do social work. Well, I teach people word, I don't know. Well, I'm a coach, or I'm a speaker. I don't know how to do that. I talk about grief. I talk about domestic violence. How can I incorporate humor? Let me tell you, if insurance, these are my favorite commercials, you guys. If insurance can be made funny, you understand? You look at the Liberty Mutual or the Geico sequels. Listen, I'm not talking about their brands. I'm talking about Success Leaves Clues. Go ahead and look. How is it that somebody's talking about auto insurance and you laughing? Or better yet, I mean, you if they can talk about insurance, if you can talk about taxes and make it funny, like that, whatever brand that is that talks about it's okay not to just be okay. I forgot. I think it's TurboTax. I don't know. Anyway, you can incorporate humor by laughing at yourself, your journey. Don't go to the point of offense. That's where people got that thin line, Shay. And you see it a lot in traditional comedy. I tell you to come on the other side and start with you. Start with you. What is it that has you cracking up? How about this? You're not a morning person, and everybody tells you got to have your emails out by 9 o'clock, or better yet, you're not techie. Go and tell your list. Say, you know what? I tried to send this email 10 times. I'm sorry. I don't know what a funnel is, but I'm learning. Talk to them about, listen, I actually don't like how I look on video, but I put a mirror in front of myself. I want y'all to see it. And this is the mirror. You cute, girl, or man, you look good. Whatever you do, share it. And I believe that if we just stop taking ourselves so seriously, we'll start to incorporate humor in general. Now, of course, if all of this is like, I can't do that. Let me give y'all one little tip. Come on, Che, here we go. Y'all write this down.
I'm ready.
Incorporate funny aspects of popular culture in your work. Anybody who's on my list, and I hate to even tell y'all, because now y'all all might try to be stealing this, but you know what, Che, look, you told me I'm bringing it. I quote movies, and I use music lyrics, TV shows all the time. All the time. Because if I say something like, I'm coming to join you, you already know what I'm talking about, right? But again, you got to know your people, right? But if I say, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, anybody who's in that age group or your people knows that's Sanford and Son, right? If you talk about Wheezy and going up to the, the deluxe apartment in the Sky High, right? You know you're talking about the Jeffersons. You know, if I talk about anybody on Friends, right? I forgot their names, Ross and Rachel. See what I mean? But you're letting people know that you're a real person, but you also are coming in their living room. You're talking about how just today we celebrated Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Where were you? What is again your favorite quote? Your favorite speech? I mean, I'm not saying that you even have to necessarily give an opinion on it. How about just again reference it? Talk about some of your favorite characters. Believe it or not, I tell people when I speak, Jay, that you're gonna get. I quote everybody from Jesus to Drake. It's the truth.
Well, what's your favorite Drake quote? We got to ask the question. I'm just curious.
Okay. Everybody dies, but not everybody lives.
I like that. Okay. All right. She said, I can go there, Shay. I can go there.
Come on, guys, I drop it. But for real, I quote Elmo. Elmo talks about if the signs of a living thing, there are two signs. One, it produces after its own self.
Okay.
And two, it grows. If you're not producing after your own self, if you're not helping somebody, reaching somebody, connecting, mentoring, engaging someone else and producing something from you in them, and you're not growing, you're not living.
Wow.
And that's just real talk.
That's real. Now, do you put these into a swipe file as well? I know earlier we talked about having a headline swipe file. Do you have a separate swipe file? Because I'm going to have to create a swipe file for this Shawn M. Mason. Come on, somebody. And just start putting my little favorite Shawn M. Mason moments in there.
Yeah, I encourage my clients to find their voice by doing things like this, talking to their friends about what makes them unique, what makes them special, and what things that they say, and use them in your copy. Have your own way of greeting people. Have your own way of closing out. I have taglines. I have Shawnisms, and they're always in my work. Those of you who know, I use onomatopoeia. One of my readers was like, oh my God, I didn't even know what that was. So again, now you're going to have to go and get on my list to find out what onomatopoeia is, but you can look it up if you want to.
No, we want to get on the list. Tell us right now. You can't just leave us hanging. You can't just, she going to put the teaser. I guess that's called a teaser in script writing. A teaser. You don't know what it is, but you got to be on my list. It's exclusive.
You can Google it, but it's not going to be the same.
No. We're going to slow down and then we'll speed up. Take a moment and tell folks two things. Number one, how do they connect with you? How do they get on your list? For those folks that are watching saying, you know what, I'm feeling the energy. She's speaking to me. She's coming down my street. She's drinking the Kool-Aid in my kitchen right now. Whatever it may be, they're feeling this. And how can they connect with you? And then what type of client do you work with? Do they have to be an entrepreneur full time? Can they have a job? Do they have to be successful? So it's a two-part question. First, you're going to tell you how you can connect with her, okay? And then I just want to kind of share what's an ideal client for her. You're listening to Shawn M. Mason. Now, how can you bless Shawn M. Mason? You can look below the video for those that can't do it, but for those that can, and you can leave what you're enjoying most about what she's saying. Just leave a comment right below. If you're listening to the podcast, leave a comment there. We appreciate that. If you're on the happyentrepreneursshow.com, you can leave a comment. We appreciate that. All right, Shawn, how can they connect with you? And then what type of client do you work with? What's your ideal client?
Okay, that is awesome. So you can connect with me. Connect with me on Facebook. My server is having some interesting things. Again, I can laugh about it because, of course, that would happen when we're getting ready to do the show, right? So go ahead, connect with me on Facebook. Make sure that you send me email. Email is my jam, my joint, my thing. So inbox me on Facebook your email address, and I'll add you to my list. You're going to get great, funny, tons of tips on copy, tons of tips on branding and marketing. Again, that is totally my jam. And again, if you're not, if you're watching this, like I said, podcast and maybe not on Facebook, email, send me a subject, heard you on the Shay Show, or put in a subject, The Happy Entrepreneur, and email me at Shawn, SHAWN, at Shawn, M as in Mary, Mason, MASON, com. And we respond to all of them. It's our personal touch. So who are my ideal clients? My ideal clients are creative doers. Usually, and again, right now we are targeting between the ages of 40 and probably 55. And I'm going to tell you the reason why, because again, the sandwich generation that I mentioned. But we work with people who are interested in taking their creativity, their brilliance, their brand to the bank. Whether you be just starting, whether you be full-time. I work with a lot of course creators and writers, along with coaches and authors. And that's just because, again, I am a writer, I am a teacher, so I really help people in writing their copy and their content for their courses. Those are the majority of my clients. But I do offer some courses, Che, for people who are just getting started. Like I said, they've been working in a traditional space for 20, 25 years. They have a passion for something more, something different. They're interested in speaking. They're interested in starting, like I said, a new business, or even just learning about this whole digital landscape. And so those are my people. Whether now again, and I offer a range, Che, in terms of services and products, because I want you to win, right? I want you to win. And you may have $2,000 just sitting there waiting for you to invest, but you may not. So why not offer opportunities? I have entry-level courses just for like beginners, but you'll hear all about that once you get on my list, because I absolutely love email. It is OMG. And anybody who connects with me, you get a free how to rock out your email tips. I think I give like 10 in there. You know, I'm always going over the top, Shay, but you'll get it free just for joining my list. And again, I am just thrilled. I appreciate the Happy Entrepreneur tribe, your crew. You have an incredible assistant, like you're the bomb. So really and truly, what I want people to know more than anything else is that start.
Just start. You know, with that being
Start.
said, she said, start. You got to start. You got to start. When we come back, I'm going to ask her the most pressing question. And we're going to get to the bottom of this copy, and then she'll share some ideas that are on her mind. You're watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We want to encourage you to connect with Shawn M. Mason. You can find her on Facebook, or you can email her at Shawn, SHAWN, M as in Mary, Mason.com. She says she responds to all the email. Test her out. I mean, she said it. I believe it. I mean, it's right there. She said she does it. I believe her. We're going to go over now. We're going to go down to Laurel, Maryland. And we're going to connect with James and Cynthia Green. They're a power couple, and they're talking about what's your purpose. Shawn's helping you not only understand your purpose, but be able to communicate your purpose and your mission to your audience. We'll be back in just a moment. James, Cynthia, take it away.
Hello, we are James and Cynthia Green of Marriage Built to Last, your marriage and relationship visionary strategist. And we are excited to be here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Today is your January 1st. And we're here to talk about the thought of the week to the power couples with a powerful vision.
Yes, and last week we talked about clarity, and so we hope you actually sat down and talked about your big dreams, talked about what you want to do, and got clarity on it. Make sure it's crystal clear. But this week, we want to talk about purpose. What is purpose? A reason something is created. We truly believe that you were put together for a purpose, and each of you have a purpose on this earth, but you have to discover what each of your purpose is, and then come together and discover the purpose why you are together. You know, what is purpose? Purpose is nothing but passion. You know, whatever you're passionate about, usually that is what your purpose is. So what are you passionate about? Find out what you're passionate about, and maybe that is your purpose, because all purpose is a source of your passion. So find out what it is, because what we want you to do is, once you get together and talk about your purpose, then you can go from level to level. And that's what we want. We want you to grow together, to learn together, as you are together. Because once you discover your purpose, now you can accomplish the things you want to accomplish and be able to go from level to level, you know, and grow together. in your purpose. And that's what it is. We want you to walk in it. It's time to walk in your purpose,
Yes.
walk in your dream,
Yes.
walk in your vision, walk in
Yes.
your reason, the reason you're together. And that's what we want. We are James and Cynthia Green from Marriage Built to Last, your marriage and visionary relationship strategist. And remember, if you build it, it will last. And now, Shay, back to you.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country, where we're on a mission to empower. We're on a mission to inspire. We're on a mission to provide you, the happy entrepreneur, with the resources necessary to execute the vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And one of the questions I have for Shawn M. Mason, who's breaking down how to write killer sales copy and see if it's working, is we have a mantra here, Shawn. And our mantra and one of our core values is, today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. And today is my January 1st represents day one. It represents a start. It represents a rebirth. It represents a do-over where we get up and going. In fact, for those folks that are watching right now, I want you to look right below the video. And if you're ready to make this your year, if you know this is your month, if you know today is your day, look right below the video and write these words: today is my January 1st. I'm going to get my copyright. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to jumpstart this business. Today is my January 1st. I'm back on that diet program. Whatever it is, it is. but the reason I'd say that, Shawn, and here's the question. January 1st, there are many January 1st moments throughout the day. Whenever you make a decision that could change the trajectory of your life, you either go to the gym or you sit on the couch. That's a January 1st moment. You either eat hamburgers and french fries, or you can open up the refrigerator and get you some fresh broccoli, some celery, and some carrots. Some of y'all are frowning, but some of you, that sounds just good to you. That's a January 1st moment. So this is a two-part question. First, I want to hear you say today is my January 1st, obviously. But first, it's what does January, when you hear today is my January 1st, what does that mean to you? And then number two, what was your January 1st moment that you decided you was going to draw a line in the sand and you were going to be an entrepreneur? You were going to crack this code and you were going to change lives.
Okay, awesome. Today is my January 1st. I love that. Today is my January 1st. It means to me that old things have passed away. The whatever you were thinking, whatever you were doing, that's back then. Whenever I think about that, and I love that you talk about the January 1st moments. My biggest January 1st moment, I've actually had a couple recently, but one of the things, Che, that I've done, as we talked about behind the scenes, is that I actually changed my name. So one of the things that I had been a different name for many years. That name, I wrote books, I did television shows, radio shows and all that in that name. But it also attached to some personal pain for me. It also attached to another version of me, if you will. And so it was a big decision. It was a necessary decision for me. I'm not advising this or telling anybody else to do it, but this is, you asked me the question. And that allowed not just rebranding, rebirthing, but it allowed me to release and redefine what it is that I want to do and how I want to do it. And that was my big January 1st moment. And it wasn't that long ago, probably about a year ago. And recently, my January 1st moment has been talking more about copy. My clients, I'm blessed. But my clients kept saying, a lot of people don't even know that you do copy because what you do is I help them again with their marketing and build their whole content out. And people don't understand that that writing is my thing. And I say, you know what? I guess not, because I'm so used to y'all, right? I'm so used to the referrals. It's been a blessing. But now when I see so much content, man, I'm compelled to talk to people about not just what they're doing wrong, but what they can do better. And when you really hone in on who your people are, and when you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that they're talking to you. You ever been to church, Tay? You're going to love this. And the pastor says something and you're literally going, was he on the phone? Did he? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, you are listening, and I don't care if you're watching something on television, you're going, "Oh my God, that is me." That person has acknowledged that they have defined their audience so clearly that you feel like they're talking to you, and it's a million people watching the show. That's what you want your copy. Literally, some of my clients go, "Were you talking about me when you were saying that?" I was like, "I wasn't even thinking about you when I was saying that." But that's how you know. How do you know your copy is working? Because people are responding to it, everybody. That's how you know it's working. How do you know the headline is working? You go by, of course, your clicks. But you go by the response that you get people, even on social media. People are like, "Oh my God, I got your email, but I didn't get a chance to read it fully." But it's the same thing with even your ads, right? If they go down a couple of lines, that means you're doing good. Keep your standards high, but know that you got to take some baby steps. And if if people are opening your emails, but they may not be buying your product, keep going. At least you know that your headline was good, right? At least you know that your tagline was worth it. Writing is always evolving, just like you and your business are always evolving. Now, when you find something that works, stick with it and go ahead and use it all the time. But it takes a while to find out what works. And what works for you is what's most important.
Oh, that is so true. Today is my January 1st. Someone look right below the video, write those words. Tell yourself that 7 times a day, because you can get a do-over. You can start. And I love how she spent a lot of time telling you, get that headline right. Let them read the next line. They're going to read 2 things, I promise you. The headline, and they'll probably read the closing part, right? But they're going to definitely see the headline. Very important. When we come back, we're coming down the home stretch. We're going to have rapid fire. It's one of my favorite segments. They're all my favorite segments, or we wouldn't do them. But this is like one of my favorite
we're having fun. Come on now.
By the way. And it's where I get to ask any question. And I like Shawn, because Shawn didn't give me a list of questions and say, "Shay, you must ask these questions." Some guests do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But not Shawn. She's like, "Shay, can we just talk?" And I said, "Sure." Can we have a conversation? I said, "Sure." And we're having a conversation. And, tens of thousands of you right now are eavesdropping on the conversation. But it's okay. Keep eavesdropping. And we appreciate you paying this message forward. When we come back, we're going to go rapid fire. That's where I get to ask any questions on my mind, on my heart. Shawn's going to answer it in a minute or less. And then I'm going to ask her for her final thoughts. I'm going to ask her to make sure she tells you how to connect with her again. I'm going to ask her final thoughts as you go out here and you've got to make it happen. This is your year. This is your time. This is your moment. And Shawn, if you listen to her, she'll change your life. We're going to go over to the one and only Rob Howes. I don't know why I'm staying in Maryland tonight, but Rob Howes talks about be present where you are. Be present. Rob Howes, take it away.
Hey guys,
All right.
me and Daddy are here.
All right, I'm doing a video.
I got a question.
No, it's not a question. This is a video where I'm telling people something. I'm telling them that today is their January 1st. Today is your January 1st, Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, because today is the only day you got. Because tomorrow's not promised and yesterday is gone. So the reason why today being your January 1st is significant because it keeps you from procrastination. Procrastination is the destroyer of dreams. Yeah, it's the destroyer. It's the killer of dreams. So take action. Be present where you're present. That's the real gift. Be present where you are present. That is the real gift. Today is your January 1st. Say today.
Today.
Say today is your January 1st.
Today is January 1st.
Say it loud.
Today is January 1st.
That's it. Don't forget it.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country, where we're on a mission to inspire, to empower, and provide you with the resources necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called. Given the experience, given the expertise, given the gifts from God. I happen to believe in God. Maybe you believe in the universe, that's okay, or higher power, or luck, or some higher being, but I happen to believe in God. He's giving you everything you need. You just need the resources. You need revenue. It's kind of like Noah in the Bible. Imagine being Noah in the Bible, and you've got this big vision, and there's no hammer. That'd be a problem. There's no nails. That would be a bigger problem. There's no wood. There's no team. And maybe that's you right now. No, that's why you show up, to get those resources, revenue, so you can purchase it. And so we're at a segment called Rapid Fire with Shawn M. Mason. And you can reach her at Shawn at ShawnMMason.com. She said, look, send her an email. Just put Happy Entrepreneur Show in there, and she's got a gift for you, 7 ways to write your copy. She'll tell you what that is in a moment. But now we're on rapid fire. So we're going to go do rapid fire, and then she'll have her closing comments, and she'll share that with you. Shawn, who's been a mentor to you along the way? You don't have to mention their name if you don't want to, but here's the question. What lesson have you learned from a mentor, and you've had so many along the way, that you could share with us as an audience that we could take away?
I thought about this, and I am going to give credit to 2 of my mentors, and I won't share who they are because they've been personal as well as professional mentors. One said, poop or get off the pot. Mm-hmm. And that jarred me because I was, like you said, staring at the blank screen, not sure, one of your presenters on the Thought of the Day was talking about make a decision. I was teetering back and forth. So look, poop or get off the pot. Mm-hmm. Don't talk about it. Just be about it. And the second one is I use the Bible as well. People can use whatever it is that they like. Mm-hmm. But what I share with people is trust in the Lord, lean not into your own understanding, but acknowledge him in all your ways and he will direct your path. And the reason why I say that is because I do work a lot from the gut. Mm-hmm. I have not all money is good money. Okay, we can talk about that's a whole nother show. But I have had clients or people come to me wanting me to get involved in projects, wanting me to do things, and it didn't feel right. And if you are talking about entrepreneur being a lifestyle, like you and I have decided, I've been offered other positions and other things, I really have to go with my gut. And I really do put my trust in the Lord because there is a lot of foolishness. There's a lot of craziness. And you don't want to get caught up in something that's going to leave you drained and disheartened, sure. Right?
Sure.
That means you're going to make mistakes. But you know what? You want to still make sure that you see how it feels with you, yeah. Right?
Mm-hmm. And so when you thanks for sharing, when you hear the word success, it means different things to different people. What does success mean to Shawn M. Mason?
It means freedom and flexibility. Success means freedom from whatever, I would say stresses you, but more importantly, it's just whatever hinders you, sure. Slows you down. Because we're going to have stress. I mean, I shared earlier, I might have, but my dad passed away. We were close. He was 90 years old. I could not have done anything to stop that. But the blessing was that I was able to go to Detroit and be with my mom for 3 weeks and not have to worry about my business or where money was coming from and all that stuff. So again, the freedom and the flexibility to move and go as you want when you want. That's success to me.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks so much for being authentic. Thanks so much for sharing. You've read a lot of books along the way, and take the Bible off of this list, by the way, because that's in a separate category. What's one of the books you recently read or are reading now that you would like to share a lesson from that book? So what's one of the lessons from one of the books that you would share with us as an audience?
Okay. I'm actually reading and teaching Battlefield of the Mind is by Joyce Meyer. And the message is, we hear so many people talk about your mindset. We got to understand where these thoughts are even coming from in the first place. And so we have a lot of thoughts. Which ones are going from your head to your heart? What are you listening to? What are you meditating on? Those are the thoughts that make the difference in if you're going to get up, if you're going to do that video, if you're going to do that podcast, or if you're going to learn a new system. It's what you're thinking in your heart at that time. And so I always encourage people to catch those thoughts. This can't happen for me. I'm not going to do this. Nobody's going to listen to me. I don't have anything to offer. Well, guess what? If that's what you're thinking, that's what's going to happen. That's what you're going to manifest. So really catching what you're thinking on a regular basis is going to make a difference in how you show up in your business, in the community, in your home, and really in the world.
Sure. And since you've been reading that book, last question, What's one of your favorite affirmations? Not from that book. What's something that you tell yourself on a daily basis just to keep going, just to keep inspired? And there's so many I know that's out there, so it's not your favorite, but what's one that pops in your mind right now that you would share with us and say, you know what, this is one of the affirmations that I hold near and dear to me, and here's why.
Okay, I actually have this on my voicemail. I was thinking which one I want to use, but this is what I actually have on my voicemail.
Sure.
Deuteronomy 28:2 says, blessings are chasing you down and overtaking you. And so I always say, slow down, Shawn, because blessings are chasing you down and overtaking you, and you want them to catch you. And so you sometimes got to slow down. And I'm a rabbit. I'm all over the place. If you can't tell already, I'm high energy. But I always say, you know what? I am blessed to be a blessing. And blessings are chasing me down and overtaking me. Let me slow down so that those blessings can catch me and I can live as the blessing that I was created to be.
Very, very, very powerful. Last question, and we're going to give her a chance to give her closing comments. Let's imagine, I know you mentioned you have 5 kids that are all different ages. I understand that. And it's hard to talk to all kids at one time. But let's just imagine they get a hold of this long lost video file. And I asked the question, what's the message that you have to any one of your kids who's listening to this message right now? And it's just a message from mom to them based on where we are on this date and time. What would you say to your kids right now? What's on your heart? What's on your mind?
To thine own self be true.
Mm-hmm.
And do not be afraid to do something out of the ordinary, because it will be extraordinary. And really, I say that to people because we're so busy trying to do, especially this generation, do what our parents want, what our friends want. I mean, I've been guilty of putting pressure on my children to try to get them to do what I want them to do. It's one thing about being a guide, being an encourager, and it's a whole nother thing being a bully. And I probably have been guilty of being both, Jay, in all honesty. But I know now to thy own self be true. And really, the more that you're you in what you do, the world is better. Even if you is different than everybody else, even if you are just, for lack of a better term, out the box. Every single person who we look at in history, and we even talk about, again, just because today we celebrated or acknowledged Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, he wasn't always liked.
Sure.
He wasn't always popular. And so I believe that we have to get to what it is in our hearts and get it out in the world and not be afraid to be unliked, not be afraid to be not popular. And be able to stand on what it is that we believe, and also be okay if it's quote unquote wrong or not the best time or in the best way. I mean, who would have thought that we would be doing this, Jay, on a screen about 13 inch? I mean, come on now, man. Yeah. We were alive when computers were made by IBM and they were like 500 pounds or whatever. So true. And you could, I mean, who would have thought that we have HD cameras in the palm of our hands? So again, you may be out of time or out of sync, but I say do it anyway. Go for it. Try it. And then adjust if you need to. That's what real entrepreneurs, that's what real leaders have always had to do.
So well said. So well said. With that being said, we'll come back in just a moment, less than 2 minutes, and Shawn M. Mason is going to tell us how to connect with her. She's going to tell us the gift, and she's going to close us out with her final thoughts to inspire, to empower us, and to leave us with what we need to do in order to make it happen. We're going to go over to Earl Mann. He's in Las Vegas. We finally got out of the great state of Maryland. I live in Washington, D.C. It's not a state, but that's a topic for another time. Although we pay more taxes than most of the states out there. We're going to go over to Nevada, and he says, did you delay starting your goal? And if so, what do you need to do? Earl Mann, my man, take it away. We'll be back.
Hey everyone, it's Earl Mann with the Symbol Athletica Lifestyle Brand and Podcast. And I am super excited. You know why? Because it's my January 1st. And I get to share with you the ultra happy and positive tribe of happy entrepreneurs. Now, I don't know when you're going to come across this message, but whenever it is, I'm willing to guess that a large percentage of you have already fallen off the wagon. You've already been derailed. You're already off the mission of your plan or your goals. And here is the thing I would know about us, because I'm in the same boat. My question to you would be, did you delay starting that goal? Did you wait for the beginning of the year, for the end of the month, for the beginning of the month, for payday, for Monday? Often, what we think holds us back is just a matter of priority. It's just a matter of priority, not a matter of resources, whether it be time, money, or people or network. It's mostly a matter of resource. And my dare and or challenge to you is, if you're willing to put it off, then you might be willing to not live with it. Wow. For many of us, that changed how we're going to approach some things moving forward. Start now. Start where you are with what you have. It's enough. It's at least enough to start now.
It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on the mission, and that is to empower, inspire, and provide you with the resources you need to execute the vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And we want to take a few moments to thank the one and only Shawn Mason for taking time to talk about how to write killer sales copy, how to see if it's working. She shared her personal story. She opened up her heart and she reached down and she really gave the best she has. But she has more to give. And I want to encourage you to connect with her. I want to encourage you to listen to how you need to connect with her, which she'll give you in just a moment. But I do want to say thank you, Shawn. We want to invite you back on the show. You have a heart to give. You have a heart to serve. You blessed beyond blessing. We're in triple overtime. What that means, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone a lot further than anticipated, right? We're not in double overtime. For those that know about sports,
triple overtime.
It's triple overtime. But she's a Hall of Fame player, and so she's playing full out. And that's what the Hall of Fame players do. They believe in the giver's economy. And the giver's economy says the person outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. So she game to give. And so I'm going to encourage you all to connect with her. If you haven't hit the share button, hit the share button. Play this message. Pay her voice forward to someone else. It's not about Shawn. It's about the message that she has. If you have hit the share button, hit it again. Start a watch party if you didn't do that. At least play this so someone else can be blessed and out in the universe. We appreciate all of our viewers. So with that being, Shawn, again, thank you. Let me turn over you to do two things. Number one, make sure you tell them how they can connect with you, because I know there's a gift they get if they email you at Shawn, SHAWN, at Shawn, M as in Mary, Mason.com. So tell them how to do that. And then we can't wait for your final thoughts. I mean, we love this segment. This is like one of our favorite. I know they're all my favorite, but this is really my favorite segment. I love hearing these thoughts because I get to come out. And this is like happy hour every night, by the way, and I get a chance to sit and be a student and learn from you. So I learned so much. Thank you so much. I turn it over to you to give your final thoughts and to close us out. Thanks again so much. We appreciate you. And all those folks like Karen C. Cherry, who's out there right now, one of the founders of Success Women's Conference, the largest conference, by the way, in the state of Mississippi, says, I love it. She's been out there. She's always a student. And for all of you put comments that said, thank you, Shawn. We appreciate you, Shawn. Make sure you do it one more time. You can never bless someone else more than what you're doing now. So show your gratitude. Look below the video and write, we appreciate you, Shawn. Thank you, Shawn. Keep going, Shawn. Shawn, you rock. You're a rock star. Pay it forward. All right, Shawn, I got to turn it over to you. Give us your closing comments, my friend, and tell them how they can connect with you first.
Oh, you are awesome. Thank you, Che. Again, Sherry, your assistant, your incredible Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe. Man, I already got emails. Y'all are doing it. You are doers. Y'all are rock stars. I am so blessed and honored to be in triple overtime with you, like Hall of Fame, right? They say game, no game, man. That's what they say, you know.
Yes, sir.
But for real, I want you all email me. I am not about the bling. A lot of you are chasing bullets. You're looking at a lot of people now, again, I believe in automation and tech, but again, this is heart to heart, Jay. Your people, you want more. You want to build not just success, you want to build significance. You want to actually matter. And you're my people. I am you. You want your people changed. You want transformation. That's what spending time writing copy is all about. Plan it, please. Rewrite it. Write the headline. Test the headline. Keep copies of headlines if you need to. And model after successful content. Model, I said, not repeat, but model. Structure your content. Know the intent of your content. Most of all, know the people that you are communicating with and let them know you, like you, trust you, follow you. Those are your raving fans. And remember, it's not in the numbers, right? It's in those that, again, close, those who buy from you, those who share. You guys are doing something huge right now in this culture simply by sharing. Sharing really is caring, by the way. You care about what it is that they're doing in their business. I want to connect with you. Like I said, some of y'all already emailed with me. I'm on live, y'all. I can't get it right back to you, but I'm on live, this live, okay? But most importantly, again, I care. I know you're listening, and that's what matters. Che, this was really a privilege and an honor. And what I want to share with people is that content is, I hear this people say people is king, but not if it's not connecting with people. Not if it's not converting people. Not if people aren't even opening it because they're not interested. So before you go and just be out there, think about what you're doing. Think about how it is in alignment with your brand. Think about how your big picture goal is being translated. It's being transcribed in your copy. It's being, you're putting it out there. People know so much about you based on what it is that you share. So, I mean, Che, you talked about you're a man of God. I too am God, but I share with people whatever your higher being, universe, self, whatever that is, that's fine. But I gotta be me, and you're not gonna be any good to anybody else being a carbon copy of somebody else. Mm-hmm. So all of that stuff that you're putting out there because somebody else did it and you're reacting, get in your zone of genius and enjoy being in your zone of genius. What I said, I meant from my heart. I am looking for people who want to connect, who want to convert, who want to capitalize in this digital marketplace. But more importantly, they want to build a community and a culture. Like, I really believe that my people, Che, they really believe they can do it. Yeah. They can do it. That's really what I say to them every day. My hashtag is hashtag make it happen. Mm-hmm. My favorite day of the week is Monday.
It's so well
That's my
said.
favorite day of the week. It is. And so again, you can make it happen. And we provide in my newsletter every single week tips, tricks, tools that will help you make whatever your it is happen in this lifetime, not next week, not next year, not 15 years from now, not when the kids graduate, not when you get 50, not when you forget all that. Make it happen every single day. And I promise you, you'll go to sleep better, and more importantly, you will feel better.
Wow. Thanks so much for joining. Thank all of you who are watching out there right now. We appreciate all of the new viewers. We want to invite you back. Thank you for all the folks who watch on a regular basis. We appreciate you. As we close out, I want you to look below the video, and I want you to write, today is my January 1st. Just put a hashtag, today is my January 1st. I'm going to get my copy going. Hashtag, today is my January 1st. I'm going to get my goals done. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to raise my standards in my finances. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to battle that mind that I have going on right now. Today is my January 1st. Why? Because I believe in you. And even if you don't believe right now, I want you to tell yourself every day, Shay Brown holds the belief for you, Shawn Mason holds the belief for you, that you are going to have an amazing day. Because sometimes you need someone else to believe in you, before you can believe in yourself. With that being said, for those folks that are just tuning in for the very first time, I don't know who I am. My name, by the way, for those folks that are tuning in, is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Today is your January 1st. Peace. Talk to you later. Shawn, it's been fun. It's been real.
Thank you. It was great. I appreciate you, sir.
These folks rock out, man. Y'all are rocking. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye. I love you. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there. And they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.